I'm going to be showing how pros op on the CT side of Vertigo. In this guide, you will learn the peaks, positions, and protocols the pros use in official matches so you can implement them into your own game to become a world-class Vertigo AWPer. So let's get started. As the CT side AWPer, your main focus will be mid, but there are rounds where you're going to help out towards A and B, which I will show later. One of the tasks at the start of the round is to smoke yellow gap or ramp if you're not going for an aggro peek. We see m0NESY came back towards mid, and he's able to do so because HooXi, one of the B players, came to mid early on to Molotov. You'll see that m0NESY is going to get the frag here, and once his position is known, he is going to instantly fall back and rotate, because other parts of the map are vulnerable once the T's know where the CT side AWPer is. That's going to give them more freedom to go ahead and take map control. It's quiet on B, and his teammates pass on the information that there was nades thrown towards ramp, so you see m0NESY is going to rotate towards A here. He is all out of utility, and NIP do the smoke wall as well as Molly Tetris, so he's not going to run through the smokes or jump on top of Tetris here. Instead, you'll see he plays more passively and spams the smoke. Here is another good mid-position angle to hold as an AWPer. The T's might think it's clear after clearing the first initial angle in the previous clip, and they're going to walk into the AWP. Instantly, you saw m0NESY rotates towards A, and unfortunately for him, NIP go towards B. Here in this round, you see Device wants to start mid early on, so he's not going to be smoking towards A here. And this is a very common CT setup in the pro scene where you have your AWPer advancing and then you have your rifler with you. Here's another mid setup with the AWPer and rifler. We see Senpai's holding very close to that wall there, and then we have Madden here playing anti-flash. So you're going to see that they're going to advance here for information. Don't spot anybody. Madden's going to go for a flank. Senpai's rotates. If you're not doing any type of aggressive mid peek, what you're doing is after smoking towards A, you're going to be holding from the elevator CT side, either side, to watch mid here. Both left and right sides are very strong because of the long distance of the AWP. One thing that you need to do is if you're in this position and the T's are going upstairs, you need to flash over that wall for them. And then one thing to note is if you do rotate towards window and you don't have anybody watching mid, just be careful of the T's mid lurker. Being inside the elevator connector position at the start after smoking gives you a lot of information because you could hear how many T's are below you inside a main bottom ramp. If you want to see more pro player POVs, make sure to check out my website CS2.app. Use the filter and pick the position you want, so let's go for AWP and you get all the AWP POVs here, free to use, CS2.app. Now let's move over towards A, where I'm going to show you some aggressive peeks if you have the best A spawn. So this is going to involve smoking off mid yellow as we see m0NESY do there, and then that smoke is going to give him cover to come out towards 51 like this. This is one of the strong AWP angles to hold the bottom ramp A main, however m0NESY is going to miss. Once you're in this position, you can move both your A riflers towards mid, make sure one of them is towards elevator to come safely rotate to help you out once contact's made. So the same AWP play that I just showed in the previous clip by m0NESY is going to be used here by m0NESY, who smokes mid yellow, comes out towards area 51 platform and peeks ramp. His teammate's going to break the smoke of the T's. He doesn't see anything, so he's going to continue the breakage of the smoke. Still does not see anybody. And then you see m0NESY ends up in the same position as m0NESY, which is top Ivy, top yellow. He is going to get Molotov out from inside ladder, and then he's going to fall off this angle. When you're playing Premier and Face It, you're not going to be facing that Molotov from inside ladder, so continue to keep holding that ramp angle. You can still make the same AWP peek from top Ivy by throwing the bottom yellow smoke, but you're going to go much slower here. So we're going to see ZywOo go ahead and make his way here to help his teammates. So since bottom yellow is smoked out, it's going to still allow you safe passage to swing out towards area 51. And then another aggressive A peek if you have the best spawn is to peek from crane to see if you spot any T's crossing into yellow at the start of the round. So I've shown you the two aggressive AWP peeks for A, so that's from towards Ivy and towards Crane. Now let's talk about the other important position, which is sandbags. When you're at this position on the start of the round, you have to keep your eye on the left of the top ramp smoke where the T's can lurk around, as well as if the T's decide to run up yellow. And then from this position, you can support your teammates with nades. A very common CT setup towards Vertigo on the A site is your AWPer starting towards sandbag, and they're going to flash ramp as your crane rifler is going to break open the T's ramp smoke. and they're going to swing, as well as your other rifler towards the IV side is going to swing yellow once that flash is thrown from the AWPer. Here you see G2 are just going to go on ahead and swing and fight for ramp. Here is the setup that I just talked about in the previous clip. We're going to see Falcons run it. Sampaius is here watching the initial aggression, sets up for the flash. You see the Crane player is going to break up the smoke, and then his two riflers peek off the flash, and they don't see anybody. And you're going to see Sampaius actually aggress here, and he's going to use the top of the railing to peek towards bottom ramp. It gets the frag onto device. Now that he knows that the T AWPer is down, that's going to give him freedom to go ahead and peek anything that he wants. However, he's going to decide to fall off, and he's going to hold this off angle that's very common. Astralis went towards B, but here's a clip of Monsi using the same angle, and he's actually going to get a frag onto the T's with it. Another angle towards A that AWPers like to hold is being on top of the orange cone to watch towards IV. In the mid round, one common play for CTs is to re-aggress ramp in the pro scene. So if you do plan on doing this, it's usually your AWPer that is going to be flashing your teammates into the upper ramp to go ahead and peek. In the competitive scene, Ts are often smoking off this position right here, and we're going to see ZywOo actually respect the smoke, and he's not going to go through it. Besides the smoke, you might face a Molotov instead. It just depends on what you want to do following the smoke and Molotov, if you want to regress, if you want to hold the off angle, or if you want to reposition. Now, if the Ts do have an AWP and you do want to peek bottom ramp, you're going to see that the CTs will try to flash the Ts off the angle. However, Sampaius loses the duel. Now let's go over towards B. If you have the best B spawn, the best peek is to peek towards the right of the wood towards B main. We see Sampaius do that. He gets flash off the angle and he instantly rotates to hold mid from CT. You can also anchor the B site with just your AWPer, which we see G2 do it this round once there is no fear of the initial rush. The best position and angle to hold from the B site with an AWP is from back site. Now, when you go towards backside, you are giving up the ability to watch the boost towards wood, so Ts can boost up there. Now, that's if you're by yourself. Otherwise, you see Monsi holding for the wire boost, as well as the Ts in the back right corner, as well as if the Ts are coming upstairs. So what makes this position very good is you can see the flashes coming in from the right side, which Monsi was able to dodge both flashes. And this beam right here will give him a lot of cover and angles to work with. That's why it's important as a Ts to throw flashes over the wood wall, that white wall towards the left here, as well as if you were to flash from mid, that would also blind sight way better than if you were to throw flashes over towards the catwalk side. For G2, the mid players are doing some type of double stack. I do have some AWPing guides from pros on other maps like here, so check these out if you found this Vertigo guide helpful, and make sure to subscribe for more CS2 Pro guides and give the video a like if you find it helpful.